Tussle with our dear friends at Apple, Ushers, Tim Cook, etc., etc. Cutting to the chase again. I have been collecting music for my entire lifetime. My dad, my brother were both jazz musicians. They both died young. My dad was 49, my brother was 38. My music collection is my connection to them. So it's not just music. It's essential. It's a bond that I can never get back any other way. As you can imagine, my collection was vast. I started it on vinyl, then I switched to audio cassette, all of which I paid for, and then finally CD, which I started importing into my early laptops back in the 80s or 90s or whenever. So every single song of the 30,000 or so songs that I had collected over the years was paid for on multiple occasions. Anyway, suddenly all this music disappeared. And I went to Apple Care, and the nice lady that I spoke to didn't know how to fix it, so she sent me to her supervisor, and then that supervisor didn't know what to do, and they sent me to that supervisor, and then finally the supervisor of all supervisors got into it and opened up what they called an escalated investigation, and they asked for 5 business days to investigate. And they came back to me with the fact that the engineers of all engineers of the great Apple Corporation, and I do stress the word corporation, came up empty. Meanwhile, a friend of mine, Warren Jason, stepped in. He's tech savvy. He started his own tech companies on multiple occasions. And he said, you might have to download Apple Music, which is $9.99 a month. And I said, well, I've been accusing them all along the way of forcing me to buy an app that would connect me to all of the music that I had already paid for and owned, and that I refused to do it. And he said, well, refuse all you like. You want your music back, boom. So download the app, Apple Music, $9.99. And all of a sudden there's a little tiny toggle switch that says sync library. That's the first such switch that I've seen in all of my meanderings. Hit that button, and within 30 minutes, 30,000 of my songs came streaming back. So, as I suspected, it's just another scam to sell me a product that I didn't fucking need, because I already fucking owned that music 4 fucking times over. So I posted some of this stuff on my social media, and one of my reps gets a call from a fella named Brian who says, hey, we're really unhappy that Ron is so unhappy. Can you give me his info? And I said, sure, go ahead, give him my info. I never heard from this so-called Brian motherfucker I did get a call back from the investigators an hour and a half after they were supposed to call me, and 5 days later. So I never took that call because I was no longer available at the time that they set, which was 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Long story short, fuck you, Apple. You made me buy a piece of shit product that gives me access to something I already owned. And you held a gun to my fucking head and said, you can't have this until you buy our product. You think it's the $9.90 fucking $9? I light cigars with $10 bills. It ain't the $9.99. It's the fucking greed. And it's the corporate bullshit of making me chase you and chase you and chase you, and you getting back to me when you fucking feel like it. Anyway, to all of you people out there who care for me deeply, and I know how many there are, I see it, I feel it, I read it every fucking day. To all of you who are truly concerned about me and my music, I got it back. And that's the long story short. But Apple, for this and for everything else that you've put us all through, I will never forget you. Out.
He don't care about the changes he hates. like a piece of chalk, or maybe alabaster. I guess I'll have to ask her. She really likes to poke the river feet. She dances pretty good for a piece of concrete. What the heck, she's just a rock. My girlfriend is a rock. You know it's only rock. It's only rock. It's only rock, rock. My girlfriend is a rock. They don't understand rock.
right, welcome folks to the radio show. Hey, sorry we took a week off. A little under the weather last week, unfortunately, but spring back to life and back again. So we're a week behind, but hopefully you can catch up on some of the archives you missed at brianturnershow.com. And hey, we got a show ID courtesy of Jesse Turbovich from Philadelphia. Guitarist extraordinaire, plays with Kurt Weill, and made an ID. Thanks, Jesse. That's awesome. Sounded very chrome, I have to say. Starting to get the neon lasers out. That was awesome. Thanks, Jesse. And thanks for tuning in. Happy to have you all here. And what did we hear? We heard some music from the Mayors, dipping back to their Megan's LOL's 7-inch. Very fine band, mid-2000s. Had a quick experience putting on one of their gigs at South by Southwest. So got to experience them for about an hour live, and totally amazing band. And we heard something from them. We heard Twisted Hand of Scotland from 1981 on the Map label. We heard One Day from Texas, the Nerve Breakers, My Girlfriend Is a Rock. We also heard from Small Wonder, no relation to the classic television show, which I am quite upset does not have its own channel on Pluto TV. But letters have been written. Small Wonder was actually a band from 1974 fronted by Mike Berry, who signed Badfinger to Apple, the label, not the lifestyle provider. And speaking of that lifestyle provider, we heard Ron Perlman behind that. Quite upset with Brian. And we also heard from Alina Kalancia starting off the set. She's a Romanian sound artist. She has a brand new release on the Important label called Impedance. We heard Walking Through Storm. Thank you all for joining us. Music ahead for the next hour and 40 minutes. And as we mentioned, all the archives of the show are up on brianturnershow.com. You can stream them from Mixcloud. You can download them from Apple Podcasts. And you can serve them up any way you like, but they are there. Hope you all had a good week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Happy to be back with you. Let's catch up with some music, including a surprise album out of nowhere from the New York City band known as Krallis. We are back. That is brand new out of Colombia. from the group Semblanzas del Rio Guapi from a new release called Los Guasangu, and that's the title track of that. It's on a really good label you should check out called Lorona Records. That's 2 L's, ORONA, records.com, out of Colombia. Behind that, something new out of Berlin from a record called Archaeophony from Raid Yasin on the air. A track called Cyber Oracle. Street Rat, something from a new release on the label put out by the fellow who goes by the name of Dog Love Earth Music. Primarily noise and abstract concrete kind of label out of Los Angeles, although I think he moved upstate now. At least looking at the mail pouch, it seems to be so. But brand new from Street Rat. And behind that, we heard something else I decided to play before Apple took it away from me. An iPhone memo of the Leonard Cohen show I saw in 2012 at Barclays Center. And we played a little excerpt of that. Sounding pretty amazing, actually. What a great show that was. He played like 2.5 hours. Came running out and slid on his knees forward on the stage. He was dynamite. What a great show. Yeah, what else do we hear? Rupa behind that, member of the Finnish group Avaris. We heard a track from a brand new release called The Inflatable World from Rupa Aronen, a track called Mouth-Watering Stocking Stuffers. And also brand new music from Kralis at the top of that set. A long-enduring band out of New York. Well, not that long. They formed in 2007, so pretty long, I guess, for New York metal units. They don't record all the time. Everybody's pretty busy, especially Colin Marston, who produces a lot of great contemporary stuff. Has his own band, or 5. Behold the Octopus, among others. Mick Barr from Orthrealm is in this group on vocals. Lev Weinstein on drums and Nicholas McMaster on bass. Record kind of out of nowhere. It is called Demonic Wealth. And from Kralis we heard the track Dilution, all here on the show. Once again, the show downloadable on Apple Podcasts, and you can stream them all on brianturnershow.com. We're happy to hear from you as well. You can email us at btradio85@gmail.com. And thanks for all the feedback, and especially, wow, thanks again, Jesse, for the awesome radio ID. Coming up next, we got something out of Boston, just released now on the label Don Giovanni Records. And this group started out around 1980, probably shared some bills with the likes of the Girls and Mission of Burma. In fact, the violinist Margie Pulitzer, who quit the Girls, joined up with this band for a while, and now there's a full retrospective of their 1981 recordings. So let's check this out. This is a track called Black Sheep. The band out of Boston is called Vitamin.
بركة تشوف فيها قحبة كتخسر الهضرة باش بغيتي نهضر بالدمياطي.
the story of two statues who go out for an evening together. He was white and she was white as only statues are. 50 years they stood there looking stupid by a jar. One night in mid-August when the moonlight got too strong, they climbed off their pedestal and then they sang this song. Past the gun emplacement and the holes as wide as bleach, through the rats and ivy till they came out on a beach, out into the ocean till they disappeared from view. Honey, when it gets you, there's just nothing you can do. Underwater moonlight sets the body free. Underwater moonlight with you and me. Underwater moonlight. Underwater moonlight. He was pink and she was pink and on the bladed road. Didn't see the giant squid though, it was fairly slow. When they hit the bottom they were well and truly dead. The statues took their place and then they rode back home instead. Underwater moonlight, take your baby down. Underwater moonlight, wash your baby drown. beginning was the fish, landlocked under a sea of dry mud. No hope of escape for this fish, wedged in all kinds of contraptions. So a couple of guys came down from Basingstoke with a deep rod tunnel screw input shaft monopolizer, and they rammed this thing right through the middle of the earth, like that. And it penetrated towards the fish into one of its gills, and the fish mumbled up, "Hey man, I'm only hearing it in one ear." So a crew of guys came down from Blackpool on a sub-individual Monopoly coaster, and they heaved in through and they lowered the pulley, baby. And they rammed it in, so the fish had stereo. And the fish said, "Okay, what's for breakfast?" And it was Dave Lee Travis. Why, you know? And it came round at 9 o'clock, just time to wake up and get out of bed. Thick head, too much to drink. Fish couldn't move. And then he heard Simon Bates saying, "It's the golden hour." And it was 1966. Yeah! Because back where you are with the fish, it's always 1966. And the fish was free. And the contractors, they called in other men from different parts. And they called upon the Lord. "Why don't you feed the fish? Why 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 don't you feed the fish?" So what a moonlight sets the body free. Under what a moonlight with you and me. Under what a moonlight. Under what a moonlight. Under what a moonlight. Under what a moonlight. Good night.
Thank you very much. Great.
seems so unhappy. Let us hope no smile, please? Or at least, let us carve one on his face when he stops screaming.
Welcome back. An exciting new reissue finally coming out from Gene Lee. And it's the first time this record's been out since '75. It was very limited and super, super pricey these days. But it's her LP Conspiracy. Features star-studded lineup including Gunter Hampel, Sam Rivers, and Jean herself collaborated with the likes of Archie Shepp, Rahsaan Roland Kirk, Pauline Oliveros, Cecil Taylor, John Cage, all the way up to William Parker. Very diverse and rich career, and I'm really happy to see this record floating around again. It's not out actually till June, but I imagine there's going to be some kind of pre-order or something. You can check out the label Moved by Sound. They're out of England, so you might want to be prepared to pay some postage as well, but pretty great record. And from that record we heard a track called Sundance, and Gene Lee passed away in 2000, but hopefully we'll see much more of this archival material floating forth. What else did we hear behind that? We heard something from a new release from an artist, or rather an ensemble, called Leider, Leider. The record is called Leikiln. We heard A Fog Like Liars Loving, and this is a project of Risin Singh, composer out of Berlin. Brand new from Leider. We also heard from Azumaya Kamanosuke. This is from what looks like some more further investigations into some archival 78s from Japan, from Sublime Frequencies, who have been putting out some stuff from Asia and the Far East, but I don't think they've ever had a Japanese release. I could be wrong. But this is the latest one. It's called Sound Storing Machines, one of a few new Sublime Frequencies titles out, and this was track recorded in 1906 in Japan, called Chikumangawa. We also heard music from Melbourne, Australia, from the band Hecatomb, from their brand new one, Horrid Invocations. Is the LP, the track Black Winged Pestilence. Shrieking behind that from their Let the Galaxy Burn release from 2020. Some crazy psychedelic black metal, thanks to Andy. Soul Devourer from Shrieking. We heard the Soft Boys from 1981, a live version of Underwater Moonlight from the two halves for the price of one. And I'm very excited. I did not, unfortunately, land one of the Gang of Four box sets that just came out. Sad to say. More a space issue. Thing takes up a couple square feet of the apartment, but looks fantastic. And I envy those who got it. Maybe I will still pick it up, but love to petition the archival authorities that be. We need a Soft Boys box at some point too. There's just a lot of great stray material. They just peeled off rarities and live tracks like nothing, and they're all pretty fantastic. I hope we can see the Soft Boys get some reissue treatment these days. There's so many box sets out. I just plunked down for the Neil Young one as well, but it's good. I'd love to investigate some more corners that need some light thrown into them if it's good material. Behind the Soft Boys, we heard a band from Morocco that we played in the past month or so. Had to throw that on again from a new release from Takbir. Pretty great from them, from a cassette release. You can find it on Bandcamp. And the Toads, brand new out of the Bay Area. Richard Street, they have a new LP. That band includes, among others, Anthony Bedard from the Icky Boyfriends, Hank 4. That's brand new. And Vitamin from a newly released collection of 1981 material out of Boston, as we mentioned, starting off that set there. As we cruise into the home stretch, thanks again, everybody, for listening, and thanks for checking in on the socials. The show has a Facebook page, Brian Turner Show. Twitter is BTRNR, and Instagram is Brian_Turner. And we can welcome your emails at btradio85@gmail.com. All right, coming up next. This is a very strange record. We're going to check into this one. This is something from a cassette out of Italy on the Musique à la Coque label. This is just out in January, and the group is called Avitagali. Stay tuned.
Jirai ka shi da liman bole su jingar. Wanda rasan liman mutsalu.
I can
Sounds from Forrest Gray out of Michigan, Feel Good. Coming out of Spiritual Mafia, new on the Anti-Fade label from Melbourne, Bath Boy. We also heard from Super Ons and a pretty amazing cassette that came out in the early 90s. Just dug it up this week. Super Ons de Gao. And we heard side A from their cassette Electrified Takamba from northern Mali. Improvised, lots of crackling, distortion and hiss and Saharan sand floating all over the tapes. Pretty amazing stuff from Super Ons. Not to be confused with Super Hands. We also heard from the cassette from Avita Galli out of Italy. We heard the whole second side of this tape that just came out in January. It's a trio that includes Valentina Magaletti, who we've played here on the show. She's listed on drums, percussion, magnetic sources, and muscles. And the other members are Efficio Biancafiore and Pino Montecalvo on assorted sounds and instruments and objects. But that is from the self-titled cassette from Avita Galli. And time to get on out of here. We're going to leave you with 2 tracks, including one from this hard rock offshoot of Blacklight Braille, which I just found out about. Blacklight Braille has put out a bunch of very weird private press records since the 60s. This is from 1978 under the name Bitter Blood Street Theater. But before that, we're going to hear something from brand new music from the Lucid Sins, who are back out of Glasgow, Scotland. And they have a new record out on the Totem Cat label called Cursed. And I want to say hi to my 2 pals, Rory Sanikin and Andreas Johnson from this group, who've done a bunch of stuff under various names, including Moon Unit and others. But let's check this out. Lucid Sins taking us into Bitter Blood Street Theater. And we'll talk to you next time. Email us here, btradio85@gmail.com, brianturnershow.com. Thank you all. Stay well and healthy. Get some vitamin D and take care of yourselves till we speak in 2 weeks. Bye.
As we talk
On this blue day, the corn is turning golden. The feathery seeds are blowing ghosts of flowers. Still through the sighing trees, the dappled sun is warm. Still through the trees, now golden, comes the warmth the crow requires. All the whales are riding in the sea. The black whales through the liquid pass, oblivious to the changes of the seasons. The ocean rolls on glittery surfaces. I know these October cornfields where black crows peck at the sun-ripened grain. I know the old tale of the slain year and the spring season when the earth gives back its slain. I know the whales are riding in the sea, and as the sun weaves the dappled patterns on the floor, I know the tall wind rising in the east will allow me to know nothing more. All the whales are riding in the sea, so passes each black shadow in the glass. Still are the tall winds rising in the east, still undisturbed the shadows pass. corn is turning gold and the feathery seeds are blowing ghosts of flowers. Still through the sighing trees, the dapple of the sun is warm. Still through the trees now golden comes the warmth the crow requires. All the whales are riding in the sea, the black whales through the liquid pass. Oblivious to the changes of the seasons, the ocean rolls on glittery surfaces. I know these October cornfields where black crows peck at the sun-ripened grain. I know the old tale of the sleighing year and the spring season when the earth gives back its slain. I know the whales are riding in the sea, and as the sun weaves dappled patterns on the floor, I know the tall wind rising in the east will allow me to know nothing more. All the whales are riding in the sea, so passes each black shadow in the glass. Still are the tall winds rising in the east, still undisturbed the shadows pass.